Human nature is all about solving mysteries and finding out the unknown. Welcome to Around the World. Today, we'll be looking at the popular history myths that have been debunked. Are you a fan of our channel? Be sure to subscribe to Around the World and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Number 12. Flat Earth. It was a common notion that Christopher Columbus sought to persuade a pessimistic world that the planet was round rather than flat. The idea that the planet is flat has rarely been truly held throughout history. The idea that the ancients in some way held to the flat Earth theory is a recent myth. Even the ancients could see how the arc-shaped twilight glow that forms at sunrise and sunset over the horizon. Number 11. The death of Catherine the Great. She allegedly perished after being crushed under a horse while trying to mate with it. The Russian queen actually passed away in her bed from illness, notwithstanding other death-related rumors that circulated. Since the rumors are hard to track down, no one is certain who started them. The French aristocracy is thought to be one of the myth's sources. Number 10. Hitler created the Autobahn. Many things, like beer and the Autobahn, make Germany famous. Hitler was not an engineer, despite the myth that he built the Autobahn. Hitler could not have been in charge of the Autobahn because it was built in 1931, 2 years before she was appointed chancellor. It is frequently believed that Hitler invented the Autobahn because these two occurrences occurred at roughly the same time. Number 9. Most men in the colonial era wore wigs. During the period, wigs and powdered hair were fashionable, although only around 5% of people wore them. Due to their high cost, these fashion statements were exclusively worn by influential people like lawyers. Wigs weren't appropriate for blue-collar employment either, and even if they wanted one, the majority of people couldn't afford a wig. Number 8. The Salem witch trials burned people at the stake. Due to widespread beliefs, it was believed that individuals convicted of being witches were burnt at the stake at Salem, which is a well-known tale of witches and the witch trials. The Salem witch trials of 1692 took place before the normative legal processes we are familiar with today. About 20 persons were executed at the conclusion of the Salem witch trials, 19 by hanging and 1 by pressing, but none were burned. Number 7. Thomas Edison invented the light bulb. Contrary to popular opinion, light bulbs existed for many years prior to Thomas Edison's invention of invention. Despite his improvements, Edison did not create the light bulb. Previous iterations were expensive, unreliable, and short-lived. The light bulb was being improved by other scientists as well, but Edison's design was chosen because it was the most efficient. Number 6. Albert Einstein was bad at math. Einstein behaved poorly in school and did not study areas that he was interested in, but he was a master of mathematics and its applications to physics. The groundbreaking relativity theory was developed by Albert Einstein. He adored science and math, but detested grammar and consistently struggled with spelling. He may have had dyslexia, which was later discovered, leading to the false impression that his math skills were lacking. Number 5. Magellan circumnavigated the globe. With the intention of circumnavigating the globe, renowned Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan set off in September 1519 with a crew of 260 men. It has since been established that he only made it roughly halfway around the world, contrary to what was once thought to be the case. On the island of Mactan in the Philippines, he was killed. Magellan did not finish the journey, but his deputy did. Number 4. Nero fiddled while Rome burned. Nero, who ruled from AD 54 until his death in AD 68, was the fifth and last Roman emperor of the Julio-Claudian dynasty. He was a cruel tyrant who was well known for being oblivious to the suffering of his people. It was thought that he played the fiddle, particularly when Rome was burning. This is untrue because Nero lived roughly 1,000 years after the fiddle's invention in the 11th century. Number 3. The Council of Nicaea determined which books would be in the Bible. The idea that the Christian Church Council of Nicaea, which took place in 325 CE, decided which books should be included in the Bible is among Christianity's most well-known urban legends. The Da Vinci Code, a skeptical novel by Dan Brown, is partially responsible for popularizing this idea. Athanasius did not present the collection of texts that is now known as the Athanasian Canon until 367 CE. This misconception regarding the Bible's books was wrong for roughly 70 years. Number 2. Everyone was killed at the Alamo. Since then, the statement has encouraged people to show the same amount of bravery and sacrifice as those who died at the Alamo did. However, some were spared. About a dozen mothers and kids lived. They participated in the 12-day siege and were protected because they weren't fighting. Number 1. Wall Street suicide jumpers. A huge deal of money was lost by bankers, brokers, and investors in the 1929 stock market crash. Although it was thought that a large number of people committed suicide after the market fall, this wasn't the case. A possible reason is that major tragedies make people more aware of the value of life. After the 1929 crisis, the suicide rate did not rise. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other videos for great travel destinations and be sure to subscribe and click the bell to be notified about our latest videos.